Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is JoJo Palacio, and on this channel, we talk about all things beauty. Today, I was inspired by this look. Yes, I did kind of dream it again. However, look at how pretty this came out. I love it. This is the perfect colorful summer look for you. Like, this was super simple, super easy. The lashes just made it more glam. The lips just made it colorful and fun. I just feel like this is absolutely amazing. It was a really nice test. I kind of was considering not using this foundation, but because of the fact that I used a different type of foundation by this brand that was similar color, the formula was a little different. Anyways, I've tried it before, I didn't like it. I tried it again today a little differently and I like it more. So I will let you guys know on Instagram whether I loved it or not once I post it. So go look me up on Instagram. So we're gonna do the video on this super cute look. Look at that liner. And the complexion. You guys know me and complexion. Come on. When do I not deliver on complexion? Like, my skin has been on point. If you guys don't know this about me, and I will share just because I probably don't share enough, I am a CEO owner of a business. I own JoJo Beauty Consulting LLC, which is a business that is all things beauty. It is about absolutely everything. I didn't want to just box myself up to one thing. Like, I didn't want to just be a skin specialist. I didn't want to just be a makeup artist. I am absolutely everything that God has created me to be. So my line, or my brand, has started off with a skincare line, and I've actually been obsessed with the skincare in this line. It's something that I would use every single day. I do use every single day. And so if you guys want a little video on that, comment down below because I'd be so happy to share it with you guys. It is my pride and joy. I have always wanted to have my own brand. And I feel like sometimes we think that because we don't have 5 million, 15 million followers on social media and YouTube that we can't do the things that are in our heart, that are in us. And I'm just here to tell you that God is here to break down that wall, that cage, that box that the enemy has put over your mind, over your heart, over your desires. And he's here to say that you can do absolutely anything in him who gives you the strength to do everything and anything possible. So I just want to encourage you with that word and encourage you to check it out. It's on social media under Facebook, JoJo Beauty Consulting LLC. I'm also on Instagram. I do post of my skincare brand there, as well as just, you know, different little things. I have eyelash extensions that I do and waxing, and I still do my makeup. So yeah, that's me. I'm gonna just stop talking about that stuff there and let's get into this tutorial because I know you guys are dying to see how to create this look. Like, this was, I high-five myself. Good job, girl. So let's get into this tutorial, guys. Let's get started. We're up close, personal, skin is prepped, eyes aren't. So we're gonna start off with our P. Louise base. This guy is in the shade Rumour 0.5, which is one of the lightest ones, if not the lightest one. I'm gonna apply that all over the lid. I like to warm it up with my finger and then blend it out with a brush. All right, so this is how I prep my lid. I am not gonna set it with powder. We're gonna go right along to the next step. So we're gonna start off by using this guy here. This is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. And as we open it up, the first two shades that we're gonna use are Weekender and Riff. And so they're very neutral shades. I wanted to go with something pretty neutral to start off with, just because this is definitely a colorful, smoky type of situation. So I'm gonna pick up Weekend and a little bit of Rift at this point with my T4 brush. This is a nice, big, fluffy, round blending brush. And so what I like to do is just make sure I'm blending it very lightly, very light pressure. Tilt your head back if you need to see your crease. And so we're just gonna use windshield wiper motions, making sure that we're using the wrist and not your entire arm to blend this out. So once you've built up the crease area to a decent amount, what I need to do next is switch brushes. So we're gonna go down in size. We're gonna use a Morphe M441 brush. This has to be one of my favorite throwback blending brushes. I'm absolutely obsessed with this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Weekend, but I'm gonna take a little more Rift now when I'm building the colors up on my brush, so I can start to define this crease moment. And I'm really just gonna focus this on the crease. So now we're gonna do windshield wiper motions, tilting your head back, not necessarily circular motions, but windshield wiper to really help carve and define that crease area. All right, so once we're at this point, we're gonna move on to the lid shade. And for the lid shade, I used a combination of colors in this palette. We're gonna go to this one, which is Stranded, and then the one next to it, which is Blaze. So both of those are the shimmery soft gold, except Blaze has more of an iridescence that's leaning towards the pinky, orangey tones that we're working with in this look. So I'm just gonna take that right into my lid. We're not gonna carve it out or anything. This is just gonna be a nice, smoky, blended, very gradient type of transition. So I'm gonna just take a Riff and some more of that M441. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over the edges of the lid just to make sure that we don't forget that we want the definition there, we want the sharpness there, we want that to be nice and blended. And so now we're gonna start playing with some fun colors. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back into my P. Louise base, and what I'm gonna take is a nice precision brush. This one's by Real Techniques and it's called their accent brush. I'll show you in a second. And so that's about as much base as I need at this point on this little brush. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna brush it up against the lower lash line, because we're gonna go in with a pigment here. And so what I'm gonna do is, using the same palette, we're gonna go into a Wild Heart, which is this beautiful like fuchsia pink, magenta pink shade, and a nice stiff brush or a smudger brush. This is the JH43 by Morphe. So that's what that guy looks like. I'm loading it with quite a bit of shadow. We're gonna take that right from the inner corner. So wiggle it through the entire lower lash line, right up until you get to the last third of the lash line. Because what we're gonna take now is Hellride and a little bit of Wildfire. Hellride is right above it. It's a matte shade versus the shimmer, because I wanna start to build some depth, and that Hellride is like literally the perfect shade. So we're gonna toggle between the two. We're gonna take that right in the outer corner and start to wing it out. Perfect. So we're tracing that out. What I'm gonna do next is take Guilt Trip. So Guilt Trip is this color right there. And I'm gonna use that same brush, not cleaning it in between. It's okay if those colors get muddled, mingled together. And we're just gonna start to brush that up and into this wing shape that we're looking for. And this is a pretty thick wing, so feel free to just go in. And so right at this point, I'm walking you through the same steps just because I don't ever want you guys to think that makeup is perfect. It absolutely isn't. I realized that I needed a little more purple, a little more color to go with this look to just kind of create the vision that I'm going for. So what I did was I switched gears and I went into this Violet Voss palette. This is her Essentials Pro Series palette. And so what I liked about this palette was this plum berry shade right there. We're gonna use the same brush. Just build up that color more. And it gave me exactly the type of finish and pigment that I was looking for. So I took that all the way in. All right guys, so once we smoke it out so it's kind of diminished, we're gonna go ahead and put on some mascara and some lashes. That's how simple this look is. I know that the lashes dress it up a little bit, but super simple. So I'm gonna take my Dior Pump and Volume mascara and we're just gonna run a nice little layer through. So the lashes that I'm gonna use are lashes that I've been obsessed with for the past couple of weeks, and it is the Beauty Creation lashes in Undisclosed. They are super wispy and pretty and full, but they are nice and light. They don't weigh your eye down, and they're not like ridiculously thick. I mean, I'm telling you, they're super lightweight. So what I like to do is take that with my Duo Glue, the Quick Set. All right guys, so we have our eyes finished. Look at how pretty, and just the color combination is absolutely stunning. So we're gonna go into Complexion today, and I'm super excited because we're using a foundation that I'm gonna give a second try to, and once I show you, I think you'll know what it is. But so let's start with getting this complexion under control. So we've already prepped our skin, we have our skincare on. The next thing that we're gonna do is do our primer, and our primer combination for today is gonna be these two. So the Makeup Forever Step 1, I'm gonna put in the midsection. I love that to help dry up, absorb oil, prevent oils from producing throughout the day so that I can make my makeup last. Nice and tacky, sticky, lovey. I'm kind of like debating, do I want to add something else to it or just leave it like that or what? I'm gonna add something else to it. My gut tells me go. So I'm gonna use this guy right here, which is the L'Oreal Magic Lumi. I'm gonna take one pump of that and I'm just gonna add it to the glow. So the Vitamin Glow the Vitamin Glow Primer has the ingredients that are great skincare ingredients, but this Lumi has that like radiance type of finish to it, almost an illuminating type of finish, which I feel like this foundation needs. It's like matte, but very, very matte for someone who's combination borderline normal now because of skincare. Shout out to my skincare routine. So there we go. That I feel like I could work with. Okay, good. So the foundation that I'm going to try today is this guy right here. So this is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin. It is a 24-hour foundation, and you guys know that on this foundation journey to find a foundation that wears through a mask, I've noticed that foundations that claim to be long wearing, 16-hour wear, 24-hour wear have worked the best so far, and this is one of them. I just could not make it work for my skin when I tried it, so I'm gonna try it again because I loved how the Makeup Forever HD stick wore with the mask, and that wasn't even a 24-hour foundation. It's just an excellent foundation overall. So we're gonna try this. We're gonna give this guy a chance. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my Morphe Kabuki brush. I just wanna make sure, yeah, all right. So I'm gonna take this brush with the foundation. I use it in the same shade I do my HD stick. It's a Y375. We're gonna blend this in. Okay, so foundation is on. The color, I mean, I love this color in the foundation. It translates the same regardless of what formula you use, a Y375. What I'm gonna do next is actually color correct before I go into my concealing shade. I wanna color correct before I bronze because I want that to kind of have some time to set in between. I'm gonna use a Makeup Forever HD Invisible Cover Concealer in the shade R40. This has got an orangey, peachy undertone to it, which I haven't done this in a while. I think I did it a while back ago with that Dior one, but I really have been noticing my under eye area not as bright as I want it to be. Like, it's not, the dark circles aren't like insanely dark, but they're, when I put my concealer on, it's not as bright as I would like it to be. So this is how I'm trying to fix that without going up a shade in my highlighting shade and looking like a crazy person, you know? So I'm using my medium tan flex foundation stick by Milk, and I'm gonna just apply that in all the huge areas. And then what I did last time, the technique I used last time to apply my contour work. So I'm gonna take my LA Girl Pro Conceal in Beautiful Bronze and apply that to the back of my hand. I just have to remember to not use as much as I did last time because that was a waste. So, and then whatever is left over from smudging on the hand, I'm gonna use on my nose to help me kind of start the contouring process. So I'm actually gonna take my BH Cosmetics Angled Buffing Brush from their Marbled collection to warm up the LA Girl contour shade on my hand. And then we're gonna blend this out on the head. I am loving the way this is blending out. So the prep helped this foundation so far, but the wear is where I wanna test it. So the wear is where. So this is where we are right now, nice and bronze and contoured up. I'm gonna take my sponge, my Hank & Henry sponge, the smaller one, and just start to kind of diminish this contour line up. Remember, it is a concealer. I don't want it to dry up exactly in those areas. So I'm gonna just work that in to the bridge of the nose, so the sides of the nose, kind of pulling it down because I don't want it to cover the center. And that way it'll start to snatch the nose. So for concealing, I'm gonna use two concealers that I've used frequently on my channel, but not recently. So this is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Custard. I love this concealer, great concealer. And then I'm also gonna use the Tarte Creaseless Concealer in the shade Fairlight Neutral as my highlighting shade. So for this one, what I do is take a smudging brush or a concealer brush, and I am going to use, in this case, the number 8 that comes in that collection with the BH Cosmetics Marbled collection, and I'm gonna just put that right in the little triangle a little bit goes a long way with this concealer. It is a nice cream matte concealer, full coverage. So hello, yes, thank you. So I'm gonna take this as the concealing shade. So anywhere that I apply where I have redness or feel like I need additional coverage, because I do my brows ahead of time, I like to apply the concealing shade around the brow area with a finer brush so I don't mess them up. So the nice thing about this concealer is that you get to kind of blend it out twice, because I like to spread it out and place it where I need it with the brush, and then I'll go back in with the sponge. Boom, look at how covered and flawless we are. Yes, people. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna do is take our concealer, the Creaseless concealer by Tarte, and this is a highlighting shade, it's gonna be way light. I'm gonna take it right here. Chin, a little bit on the forehead. This is a very hydrating concealer, very illuminating, so I like it for that reason, just because it's great for clients if you're dry and you want a concealer that's not gonna crease, but it's gonna give you some hydration glow to the skin. Okay, so do you see how much hydration and glow that added to the skin that concealer did versus the other side before I blend this out? That's what that concealer does. Guys, we are killing it right now. So we're gonna go in to kind of set the under eye area. I was gonna use a compact, but I'm not gonna do that. What I'm gonna do is just use my pressed powder, my loose powder. So this is the JoJo combination of the 2 Maybelline Fit Me shades and the RCMA translucent powder. I'll have it listed in the description box below so that you guys can see what the colors are. If you want to see a video on how I mix this, then comment down below, because this is an excellent setting powder. So right over that entire area. It's pretty much where I'm only gonna set, just because I'm concerned that this is gonna be very matte. So the under eye area and around my mouth is where I usually get some creasing, some sweat from the little mustache area. So that's all that I'm gonna set, and let's go back into our eyes because I wanna finish that off real quick. So to finish that off, I actually wanna keep that pretty pink. So what I'll do is go back into that Wild Heart shade that's in the Urban Decay Born to Run palette, and I'm gonna take that smudging brush that we use. This is the JH38, yeah. And we're just gonna smoke it out a little bit. So what we're gonna do now is add some mascara and some liner. And I wish that I had a pink liner, but I don't. Not that creative. I don't even have a lip liner that I could put down there as. So of course what we're gonna do is use our white liner under the lash line. I'm loving the flawlessness of this look. Like, it's not super glowy like what I'm used to, but the flawlessness, yes ma'am. So let's finish this up. Let's wrap it up real quick. We're gonna set all of the areas that we just got finished contouring with our creams using this guy here. So this is the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette. And what I'm gonna do is take my Real Techniques contouring brush and the last 3 shades just to kind of help the contour up a little bit. You gauge it by what your skin tone is, just because these work for me. I'm a pretty tan, medium range. Doesn't mean that it works for you. If you are fair, just use 1 shade. You don't have to use all 3. And so what I like to do is just use the first shade, which for me feels like a bronzing shade, to kind of diminish out the lines, make sure that everything is even, blend that out. Love it. And then I go back into to redefine the nose contour. Ooh, I'm feeling that. Feeling it. And let's get into the highlight and the blush. So for highlight and blush, I switched up the palette because I know that I killed the other one. I'm using it all the time. We're gonna use this guy here. This is the Narcissist Unfiltered palette number 2. I don't know that they still have this specific palette out, but I know that they constantly are redoing it. Like, there's a summer version of this, which is gorgeous. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the shades, what are they? Yeah. Conquest and Undefeated, going into Undefeated first, which is this guy right here. It's like a peachy highlight shade. It could also be used as a blush. However, in this case, I'm using it as a highlight. And I'm going to start by putting it right in this area here to help build, because we're going to pop with the topper of Conquest. You see how subtle that is? And then what I'm gonna do is turn gears. I'm actually gonna switch brushes so that I can make it stand out a little more, build it up. And we're gonna just highlight away. Layering that way just makes my heart happy. The skin loves it too, because it just looks more natural instead of going from like matte to like boom, you know? Although if you want boom, that's good for you too, but I prefer it to look a little more blended. And for blush, I'm actually just gonna mix the 3 blushes that are here, primarily sticking to, what's that guy's name? I use an angled brush and I lay it right in the center and work its way up in between the contour and the highlight. I like this look, I love it. All right, so this is pretty much the look for us today. What I'm gonna do is set it. I'm gonna set it using my Urban Decay All Nighter spray. And then you guys know the drill. Let me fix my hair and I'll be right back with some lips on to do the outro. All right guys, this is the finished look right here. I just had to pair it with a pink lip. Like I felt like this completed the look. It is perfect. So what I used was a Lancome lipstick in the color Socialite, and then I paired it with a lip liner by Bite, which is the 96. I realized that this could have been that waterline pink that I was looking for, because these are multitaskers, so you can use them on the lips, eyes, and face. But you know, whatever, it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So that is it for the video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this colorful summer look. I know that I've been doing a ton of summer glam 2020 looks that are more bronzy, sultry, but this is definitely a fun twist on the summer. So I hope that you guys liked it. If you did, hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday of the week, every single week, different type of content. Sometimes it's summer glam, sometimes we're going through my gratis together. Whatever it is, I post every week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Also look me up on Instagram. It's JoJo Palacio. On there's a lot of behind the scenes. I do wear tests on this, so I'll go on after I'm done filming in like 2-3 hours post. There's a lot of stuff going on social media, so check me out. And thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share the video. That way we can get to 1,000 by 2021. That is the goal. I believe that we can do it, and we will. So thank you for watching. Blessings, love you, and I'll see you next time.